because, like, yeah, like, Kyoko seems to know shit about... No, she seems to be very familiar with the school layout, but not to an extent that's been, like, overly helpful or explained. She also managed to get... Because there was a point in time where the Monokumas went offline, and she was able to also fish out a motion sensing bomb, except she was able to arm it.
Seems like it.
Yeah. Alright, that's been like a minute. Welcome back. Oh, wait, no, I forgot to fucking spam this everywhere. Hang on. Alright, that's good enough. Okay, now, welcome, Danganronpa Part 8. Part 8. I'm gonna say Part 8.
Part the question mark.
Yeah. And... Part the question mark. There's been a murder, but we stopped right as the investigation was about to start, because it's so much easier to do that in just like one shot rather than multiple shots.
Also tech issues last time.
Also tech issues last time, which hopefully won't be a thing today.
Oh.
I don't remember this music.
No, this feels like new music.
Huh. Has a final boss investigation theme to it, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Alright, let's take on Kyoko.
Yup.
Well, I'd better start by checking out the Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So even the Monokuma file doesn't tell us who the victim was.
Well, no shit.
The unidentified body. Could it really be Kyoko?
No.
Oh. I have no choice. I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened, or we're all dead. I need to go back to the scene of the crime. Back to the garden.
Gee, if only we had any idea who killed this person and who this person is. If only.
Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that might be important, from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Huh. There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they'd get in the way of normal activity. That's not
We're not going to talk about the tattoo on her hand that's
yeah.
actually more interesting than that?
What the fuck? How about that fucking tattoo? That looks like a sheriff's badge?
But it's got like a wolf head on it or something? Yeah.
Yeah. There's also something on the back of her right hand.
Okay, cool. We are going to talk about it.
It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing. But it looks like it's a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? No, there's kind of a lot strange about it.
Is there not?
There's kind of a lot. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire, and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half was still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. Right?
Don't like the way that it said that. Because, like, when it says it like that, it's like, yeah, it is fucking strange.
So, here's where I'm sitting. Yes, we threw the bucket of water on this top half to make it wet.
Uh-huh.
Bottom half should have still been wet too, or at least
from the sprinklers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, hang on. It still has.
Pan the camera just to be sure there's nothing else.
Cannot pan.
Oh, okay. Alright, I guess we talked to all these chuckle pucks.
These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Was it there? I'll have to double check that later. Look at Stabby. There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. The Monokuma file said the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. Does that mean the knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife, it looks really familiar. Where is this? Oh yeah, that's the knife that the person was holding. This is getting weird. There's just too many coincidences.
Wait. Did those hands look like they're gloved to you? Because they
Yes.
don't look like they're gloved to me.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's no fingernails.
There are no fingernails, yeah.
So, gotta be gloved, right?
Maybe?
I'm not willing to assume that 16th student ripped off all their fingernails for some reason at this time.
No, I know. It's just... I wanted to see this scene in particular because it looked like the hands are... They look like they're not gloved. Like, that coloration looks like it could be, like, a flesh tone.
Right. Sure.
We can't see any fingernails, which, like, is somewhat indicative of maybe gloved.
Right.
But also, we didn't see like any glove tatterings on the body when we examined the dead body.
Right.
So I'm just trying to figure out, because this whole time Kyoko's been wearing gloves.
Right.
And so, like, is there the remotest possibility that the dead body is actually Kyoko? Even though I'm like 99% sure that Kyoko is the one that committed the murder and not the dead body, is there the remotest possibility?
There is a 1% chance, yes. However, Kyoko killed the body. Here's where I'm going, right? What if the person in this scene is Kyoko?
You know, I could believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
and Kyoko set up a little play for ourselves in our fever-induced... In our... So, here's the... Okay, so... Kyoko poisoned us, right? And gave us our, like, weird... And gave us our weird fever dream thing, right?
Pretty likely.
So, Kyoko took advantage of our weird-ass fever dream to put on a one-woman play for us. Right?
I could buy that. That could totally be a thing she would do.
And she then went off and murdered the 16th student, who is not... Which, Kyoko is the ultimate despair. The 16th student might have been ultimate hope, or ultimate hide-and-seek artist. Who the fuck knows? And... much like the first case, we are being totally fucking used.
I mean, I could 100% buy that. Mm-hmm. Especially given that, like, Kyoko is the one person that has been proven smart enough this whole time.
Right.
That, like, could orchestrate all of this in a way that, like, seemed totally believable and reasonable. Rather than, like, Celeste's stupid, oh, robot justice.
Yeah. And here's where it gets complicated. She made absolutely no effort to stop the idiot crew from letting us handle the Bowie knife.
Yep.
So she made sure to do the murdering with that Bowie knife, knowing that we have no alibi, because we were in our room the whole time and we were passed out. We have no alibi, and it was done with a weapon that was known to be safeguarded in our room.
Right. Yeah, no, like...
Yeah.
Again, all signs point to Kyoko. Like,
right.
1,000%.
Right.
I'm just trying to look for any sort of, like, gotchas the game might throw in.
There is a 1% chance that body is Kyoko. 1%, and I'm being generous.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more devil's advocate than I think that this is, like, going to happen.
Sure.
But yeah, I just want to be thorough in our, like, investigation of all of these scenes.
Right.
But like, as you said, the, like, fact that we were in a fever dream state, the fact that, like, Kyoko easily has access to our room, apparently, despite the fact that we've locked it multiple times.
Right.
Etc., etc.
Right.
Yeah, I can buy the theory that, like, this was orchestrated by Kyoko to make us think that that we were somehow attacked by the 16th student.
Right. And that same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So, maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe then And if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one who attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't. There's no way.
Really, Mikoto? That's where your brain went? Maybe I stabbed Kyoko? That's where your brain went.
We are so fucking dumb.
Jesus Christ. How are we this dumb? I thought Bacanium alloy was the lowest that we go. Apparently, there's a Makoto alloy we didn't know about. Listen, Makoto, do you remember how the body looked, you know, before it blew up?
If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Rakia said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks. That was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked.
Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember a lot better too from that time 5 seconds / 1 week ago.
Uh-huh.
So thank you, too.
Yeah, also it seems very likely that the body was killed somewhere else and brought here.
100%. So who does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. Thanks, Toko. A+.
Wait, didn't they think that Toko had died in the explosion because she was the one that was going to remove the mask?
Yeah, whatever. She walked it off. She's fine.
Apparently, I guess. Morning, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you.
What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words,
I'd like to hear your alibi.
Alibi?
in other words,
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night.
Shitting my pants in bed, as is tradition. I mean, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime.
How can you know that for sure?
Because just after nighttime began, I came to this garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words,
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime, after I left the garden. The murder could have taken place before that happened.
So here's the thing.
Oh.
The blood was fresh, but the wound had stopped bleeding.
The blood was wet.
The blood
That
was
is
wet.
different than being fresh.
Okay. But here's so there's two ways to interpret that data, right? Option A, the body was placed here. It got wet by the sprinklers, and the coat had been drying, but the blood hadn't dried yet.
Right.
Option
That is my primary theory right now.
Option B, this is a very, very, very old dead body, and was simply placed here because the rule is the announcement only goes off when 3 people find the body, and was simply placed here, and then, I don't know, like a blood pack from the fucking nurse's office or whatever sprinkled about to make the appearance of fresh blood.
Sure.
Because I feel like the game is trying to lead us to the fact that the murder was not committed here and the body had only recently been put here because the bottom of the coat was not wet. Like, they're going an awful long way out of their way to stress that the bottom of the coat was not wet at all.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could buy that. If the body was placed after the sprinklers went off, and then the fresh blood was applied after that.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I could buy that.
Here's my theory. Kyoko murdered this student day 1.
Couldn't have been day 1.
Why?
Well, the reason I think that it couldn't have been day one is, do you remember when Kyoko told us to go to the secret room?
Right.
And we were, like, starting to find the files.
Right.
We got attacked.
Right.
At that point.
Sure.
Now, maybe it was Kyoko,
Uh-huh.
but, like, why would she go to the trouble of, like, leading us there, telling us to look at the files, only to, like, knock us out and steal all the files after we'd seen that there were files there? Like, why? Why would she do that, as opposed to, like, the 16th student was actually alive at that point, and it was sometime between that point and now that Kyoko killed them.
Counterpoint. What if... So, Kyoko wanted us to have access to that secret room to hide alter ego, right?
Oh, hang on a second. World's Greatest Detective take on World's Dumbest Protect.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yep.
Birdo. Alright, continue.
So, Kyoko wanted to show us a secret room to hide alter ego, right?
Sure.
Kyoko neglected to secure the scene properly, so we ended up going through shit that she didn't want us to see, so she hit us over the head. Or Monokuma did it, and Monokuma's handler did it. Wouldn't you like one of those two? Because, as we've established, this is not a dead Monokuma. Like, Monokuma went offline for a bit,
Right.
but whoever is controlling Monokuma is still clearly in control, right?
Right. So, unfortunately, I can't just, like, pull up the visual from the game, but,
Sure.
like, the only problem I have is that, like, the person that attacked us looked pretty similar to the image that we saw attacking us while we were in the fever room in the night. They didn't have
Right.
the, like, lab coat thing.
Mhm.
But, like, as far as the mask and stuff, like,
Mhm.
that was in line.
Sure. And I'm maintaining
So-
that that person is Kyoko.
But I don't buy the theory that, like, Kyoko knocked us out and cleaned all that up because she hadn't properly cleared up the scene from before she told us about it. Like, that seems really, really, really weird.
Sure. Alright. Maybe that motive is wrong, but I'm not letting go of this theory yet that... Okay, maybe it wasn't day one, but... It had to have been
Now-
early.
I mean, if we can find a legitimate reason why Kyoko would have, like, been the one to attack us in the secret room,
Right.
then, like, I can maybe, like, buy into that theory a little bit more. But
Sure.
just, I don't see a legitimate motivation for her to do so.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Then I will be on the lookout for that, but it might not be necessarily day one, but it had to have been crazy early that I feel like Kyoko murdered this student, and Kyoko is now deploying the corpse. Because we'll
What
have
if it
literally nothing to
happened-
go on.
What if it happened during the time that she was disappearing during Celeste's murder? Like, that whole time that we were distracted by quote-unquote robot justice and, like, tracking all that shit down,
Right.
like, Kyoko was nowhere to be seen during that time. So I could buy that it happened during then.
Okay. Yeah, I'd buy that.
Because, like, that still has yet to be explained at all, why
Sure.
she was just gone.
Sure. The only issue I have is that the longer we get from, like, the longer we go from start, the less I'm able to believe that Ultimate Hide and Seek was actually able to, like, evade all of us.
Maybe. Although, I wonder if part of it was, like, help from Monokuma, right? Because, like, there was no dorm room for the 16th student.
Sure.
We know that the 16th student existed
Right.
on day one
Right.
from the conversation we saw between Sakura and Monokuma, even though we didn't know it was Sakura at the time.
Right.
So, like, they had to be somewhere that whole time.
Right.
But, like, it was not anywhere on the first floor.
Okay. Alright. I'll workshop that idea, but at this point, yeah, I'm I'm thinking Kyoko murdered Ultimate Hide and Seek super early, possibly while we were distracted by Robot Justice, and has just been keeping the body preserved somehow. Which no preservation process is perfect, but the bomb would have wiped out any evidence of that.
Maybe. I'm disappointed by the fact that we're not examining the body more closely. For instance, like, if we would try to, like, move the arms or legs at all, we would know if there was, like, what level of rigor mortis it set in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
but we don't.
We're fucking Makoto.
Yeah, we're fucking morons.
We don't know anything about, like, how to fucking actually inspect a body.
Yeah.
But, at any rate. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night.
Bruh.
Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis
are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko,
then I'm the only one without an alibi.
Also, when we went to go get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door. So, where precisely were you?
I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so...
That's hardly an alibi.
I know.
So, what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here.
I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it?
If Kyoko's the one that's dead, sure.
Yeah, but Kyoko's not the one that's dead.
Uh-huh.
It's 11 o'clock right now. Oh, okay.
Serious?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual, and I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to go get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then?
Now then, Toko, what time is it?
Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock. So it's probably 9 on the dot right now. That's right. It had to have been right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job.
So we found the body at 9.
Right.
The sprinklers go off at, was it 7:30?
Yes.
So the question is, how long do the sprinklers stay on? Probably
Not long.
15 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah.
So sometime between 8 and 9, Kyoko would have had to place the body here.
Yeah.
And not get seen by any of us.
But everyone else was in the gym. Everyone else had been in the gym the whole night.
They had been in the gym the whole night, yeah. But Hina found us at 7:30
Sure.
in the dining hall.
Right.
We met up with the others shortly after, almost immediately after that, in fact. We probably talked for like half an hour to an hour or so.
Right.
Why did we want to go get the pickaxe? We wanted to go get the pickaxe.
We wanted to break
get
into the one of the rooms, the headmaster's office.
Okay. And I'm trying to remember where we were at that point.
We were in the hall outside the headmaster's office. Call it 4th floor. No, yeah, 4th floor. Yeah.
So that was shortly before 9 o'clock.
Right.
So Kyoko would have had about 1 hour tops to place the body and not get seen.
Sure.
Doable. Doable for sure.
Yeah. Sure. And found the bomb. God, I have to imagine Kyoko has been hoarding a bomb this whole time. Kyoko's resourcefulness is like batshit, like plot armor levels of resourcefulness. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. Set to turn it on at 7:30 every morning, and Monokuma said the time positively couldn't be changed. But hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30. Then if the boy was here before then, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet, which would mean the murder must have taken place after 7:30. That's the conclusion we jumped to, right?
We'll find out, I guess.
The Monokuma flower. Is it true? Does it really eat paper, plastic, and people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case. I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. 2, 3, 4.
There's a chicken missing.
There's a chicken missing.
Yo.
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. I need your help. Do you know how to count to 5? Do you remember how many chickens?
Of course, there were precisely 5.
Yeah, right?
What's wrong?
There's only 4 chickens here.
Oh, rather than going to the nurse's office, she just killed a chicken.
There we go. Got it. And then threw the chicken up in the plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, so weird. I wonder when it disappeared.
But
I was down here just before nighttime last night. There were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
conspiracy.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished.
I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand.
Whoa, Makoto did something intelligent?
Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very related. Which, it feeds directly into the this is a very old body theory.
It does.
Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed.
Correct, anyone who steals our ability to have nuggies is evil.
Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. Let's look into it. Top is wet and covered with mud and grime. But the underside is totally clean and completely dry. One side of the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. Okay, so Kyoko has had access to all floors at all times. Let's start there, right?
Probably.
When Kyoko did her murder, she buried the body in the garden in a tarp.
I can believe that.
So we dug up the tarp. But why would she have left it in the tool shed? That's sloppy.
It sure is.
That's incredibly sloppy. That's the one thing in here that concerns me.
Is it? I mean, let me just go through the rest of these real quick, just in case. Crazy diamond, don't care.
Wouldn't you find a digging spot or a dirty shovel? That is actually a pretty good point. If the body was buried and dug up, then there would be a shovel somewhere that had, you know, been digging recently and would have like dirt and mud on it.
Recall that Kyoko only had an hour. There's probably only so much that she would have been able to do. Maybe cleaning the shovel was in... She's able to clean the shovel, but not able to properly dispose of the tarp.
Maybe.
I think I've checked everything I need to in this area, but I'm not done yet. There's other areas. Specifically, that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? That's true. Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room...
It's all clear now.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in further suspicious activity.
What?
Limit my options.
Just give up.
Give me the key to your room.
I don't have a choice. I have to see if he'll let me borrow her room key.
Zero chance that he's...
Just ask him to go with you.
Hey, Brocky.
If you do come up with an alibi, I'll be happy to hear about it later at the class trial.
Oh, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it.
I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. See? Like I said, just...
Then, will you go with me?
Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see.
Goodbye.
You fucking dumbass. Depending upon my mood, I may go with you, or I may not.
Come back later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check that one area.
Do you know what area he's actually talking about? Like, I suspect it's either, like, the broadcast room or the
Broadcast room or the...
headmaster's office, but, like...
broadcast room or the gym.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Which, nothing up here.
I mean, either way, we should definitely head up the broadcast room on our way back down.
Yeah. I already have a date to prom.
What? Why don't you open it and find out?
Just fucking open the door.
Oh, wait, it was locked.
Oh,
That's right. We tried last time. Alright. Guess it's not in here.
Yeah. I really think we're being pointed to the gym.
Probably. God, this game really needs a fast travel system.
I know.
But I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know? I just found something. What is it?
This.
It's what?
A bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure.
A bomb?
And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. Fragments I found in the garden.
Okay, that's a thing.
So in the time between us dismantling Monokuma and finding the bomb and all that shit, and us going up to the whatever room, the Monokuma's, the headmaster's room, she stole the bomb and planted it on the corpse? Because, like, the corpse must have already been there. Otherwise, there's no way she'd have time
Right.
to do anything else.
Right.
That still feels like a very narrow window.
Hang on. Hold it. So... Hang on, I'm putting this together. So, okay, let's... Order of operation steps. At some point, Kyoko kills the ultimate hide-and-seek student, right?
Sure.
Kyoko stashes ultimate hide-and-seek body in her room.
Probably.
Upon discovery of the garden and making it to this final stage, while everyone's in the gym... No. Hang on, that's bad order of operations. She must have been... When did she... How did she move the body? Hang on. When was the conversation where she gives over the key?
Yeah. That was like a day or two ago.
Right, but
was
that was
recent.
after we discovered the garden, right?
Yes.
So during one of the nighttime phases, she moved the body to the garden, buried it in the tarp. It had already been long since dead, no longer bleeding, so that's why there's no blood on the inside of the tarp, right?
Maybe. So my thought is, what if she moved the body before the sprinkler systems went off, but the tarp was over it, and therefore it didn't get wet from the sprinklers? So all then she would have had to do at that point in the morning was remove the tarp after the sprinklers went off.
Maybe?
That would make her need a lot less time.
Okay. But it was... So the thing is that the tarp was also dirty, so it wasn't just, like, put, like, in the middle of the walkway for all to gawk at, right? It had to have been, like, hidden in plants or something. In or around plants.
Right.
So she still had to move it, it just wasn't, like, buried. It was just, like, in the plants.
Something like that.
And then, yeah, sprinklers go off. They get the tarp. Because she knew the sprinklers would go off. Waited for the sprinklers to go off. Sprinklers cover the tarp, wash off some of the dirt, but not all of it.
Right.
And then just remove tarp, throw it in the shed, sprinkle the chicken blood, throw the chicken in the plant, and take off. Oh, and set the bomb. Because, yeah.
Well, but the thing is, she had to have gotten the bomb sometime between us dismantling Monokuma and having that conversation, and us going up to the headmaster's room that was locked.
She was watching the gym and waited for all of us to scarp her up to the
Yes.
data floor. And then as soon as because she did, because Kyoko did something to disable Monokuma, and then just
Yeah.
left a Monokuma bot for us to disassemble. Because if she was seen disassembling it, then we could trace the bomb to her.
Right.
So she let us do all the work disassembling, and then waited for us to finally have the idea to go check out the data room or whatever. And then as soon as we all scarp her, she goes in, grabs the bomb.
Well, but it wasn't the data room originally that we were going to go check out. We were going to go to the headmaster's room.
Sure, same floor, whatever.
Remember?
Yeah, same floor, whatever. But yeah, waits for us to leave to go check out like a place that's not the garden. Then takes the bomb, runs it upstairs, and sets the thing up. Rearms the motion sensor bomb so that if anyone touches the whatever.
Yeah, I mean, my point is that it's still a fairly narrow window that she had to do that part.
Sure,
Because,
yeah.
like, she had the time between us going from the gym to the 4th floor.
Mhm.
She had a little bit more time than that because Toko got sent off to the garden
Right.
to go look for the pickaxe. And at that point, like, Toko found the body.
Right.
And then Toko runs back to tell us about the body, and then we all go investigate it.
Right.
But that's, like, at most, like, 20 minutes, a half hour tops. I mean, again, it's doable, but it's still just, like, a narrow window.
It's a narrow window, but I am not willing to bet against Kyoko's resourcefulness. Like,
No, I'm not betting against her resourcefulness. I'm just pointing out that it's a narrow window. That's
sure,
all.
sure.
Because between us leaving the gym and Toko leading us all to the body, she would have had to arm the bomb and plant it on the corpse, even if the corpse was already there in the garden waiting for us to, like,
Right.
find it.
Right.
Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Time to trundle through loading screens.
Didn't Byakuya leave the garden, though?
Yeah, but there was the thing of just like, come back and talk to me later. So I assume that meant come back when he's back in the garden. Hey, Dum Dum.
You think you can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well. Let's go.
Oh, wait for me. Byakuya walked off without a second glance. I hurried after him on our way to the dorms.
He's just gonna yell at me, but I feel like I have to talk to him anyway.
Well then, here we go.
Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole, and then...
And it's open.
Looks like it. Thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
No, it's a key. What's that? What purpose does it serve?
I think
It's a
it's
key.
probably a key. Lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers.
I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse.
That doesn't really surprise me. Hard to picture Byakuya as doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks.
Really? What?
Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might go to.
The dojo.
Back to the 5th floor!
Here's the bathroom.
Sure.
Jesus Christ, Makoto. I know that you're dense, but now's not the time for decency. You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for?
Nothing in particular. I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take that time out of my search to come here?
Sorry.
Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here?
More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Huh? What's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me.
I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it.
What's in the envelope?
Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it.
Interesting.
Well, something has certainly happened, so open it.
Oh, okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there?
Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it
Gee,
be?
maybe the fucking bed sheets. Jesus Christ, Makoto.
But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets, why, I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Class number 78, student registry. Okro.
I see.
It appears to be Mikuro Isukaba's profile.
I'm the only one allowed to mispronounce it because I'm an idiot. Alright.
Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room, along with the key.
God, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key, and that's it.
This must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing. This is what she left behind.
I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search.
Oh, okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Name, sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, She never revealed why she decided to return home when she did.
Nice to meet you, Kyoko.
Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary crew. This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in is like a completely different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things as just an ordinary person. Then,
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this.
you recognize it.
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering.
This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in.
I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa! I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player, and a bit player is becoming our hero.
It's you.
What?
What have you got in your pretty little hand there?
What?
Uh-oh, you found her profile.
So what if we did?
Hey, come on now.
Don't freak out on me, I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting?
Interesting.
It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking, I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together in the main hallway back when, there were 15 people there, right? I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all.
A misunderstanding? Are you saying?
in other words,
That's right, there weren't actually 15 of you.
yes indeed.
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16.
Oh my god.
No way!
16, then.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Yeah, see, that part is the interesting part, because Kyoko told us that they're the ultimate well, she said they call them the ultimate despair.
Right.
But the profile says ultimate student.
Right. That's because Kyoko was lying to us and playing us, so that when the reveal
I
comes
know.
up...
I know. But, like, Makoto should, like, hopefully maybe see some part of that and be like, wait, this profile says ultimate soldier and Kyoko said ultimate despair. Those two things don't line up.
I feel like we've been playing two different final chapters because Makoto has a fucking head wound.
Oh, I know. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But, like,
Mm-hmm.
the game has, like, tried to paint that Makoto has at least a shred of intelligence,
Sure.
and, like, boy, it doesn't take much to be like, gee, those two things don't line up.
Yeah.
The 16th student, Mara Igigishiber. She's part of this school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Huh?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we've gotten so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up in a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Makes sense.
Well now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you.
Revenge?
I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm going to share a little secret with you.
Seriously?
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in and day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see.
Bruh.
Okay, now that's all you get.
Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars. Wait, so on the back of her hand, the tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves to hide the scars. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse.
Are you thinking about Kyoko again?
Yeah, but wrong. Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap.
His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull.
That awkward moment when I'm agreeing with Byakuya.
Yeah, there's been more and more of those lately. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us?
He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Murmur was a student here.
That's right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mikuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now?
That's not actually what he said. He said one of the students was creating the rules. He didn't say which one. And I think it's a little weird to assume that it's her. Or to assume that it's Ultimate Dead Person. When it's actually been Kyoko because she's been the final boss this whole time.
Yeah. So there's that, but also, like, there have been rules updates that have happened right after we've had conversations with Monokuma.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I mean, yeah, we know that Monokuma's being, like, driven by someone, but, like, I don't know that we, like, know who's the one doing the driving, because, like, it might be Kyoko, it might be 16th student, it might be someone else, right? We don't actually know.
So I feel like Monokuma has a dedicated puppet that's not a participant in the game, right?
Sure.
And I don't... And 16 student has been MIA this entire time, right?
Sure.
Is there any reason not to believe that two Monokumas could have been in operation at one time, with one fucking around with us and the other one verifying with 16 student, hey, do you agree to this rule change? Yes, no.
Sure, but wouldn't that still be the 16th student doing the rule writing at that point?
Yeah, well, alright.
Which means that it wouldn't be Kyoko. That's kind of my bigger point.
Sure. I'm only partially willing to follow that, because it's... if true, that would make this whole tangent irrelevant. which is, I mean, that's not the first time we've been sent on irrelevant tangents, but I don't know, it seems kind of like shockingly irrelevant.
Yeah.
Needs more data.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because there's definitely some weirdness going on here. Because like Kyoko
Yeah.
seems to be the mastermind, but also like Monokuma is like tied to the mastermind. But like Monokuma, from this conversation, is clearly mad at Kyoko.
Right.
So like, kind of points to Kyoko not being the one that's like at the helm for Monokuma.
Unless Kyoko made the rule and then broke it. And that's why Monokuma's so mad.
Which rule did
in
you break?
The don't break into anywhere.
But she didn't break into anywhere. Sakura is the one that broke into the headmaster's room. Kyoko took advantage of the fact that Sakura
Sure.
broke it.
Right. Well, okay, maybe that's the source of the anger. Like she did the okay, no breaking into anywhere, then had Sakura do it so that she could get in without actually having broken in. And Monokuma's mad at the fucking rules lawyering on display here.
Maybe. I don't know.
Mhm.
Need more information.
Need more data. Yeah.
Next line.
He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later.
But the mere fact that he said that proves Makuro is connected to this case.
Yeah, connected by being the fucking corpse.
Yeah, no shit. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair.
Family member is related to the case?
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko.
Brr.
That would explain why we'd have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game.
Member is the killer? She killed Kyoko?
Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? Sure, anyone can come to that conclusion. The conclusion that's one step ahead, that's a little bit harder, but is right, is that it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't want to be too hard on Byakuya because at least he has acknowledged the existence of two dots to connect together. Fucking Makoto
Sure.
still hasn't done that yet.
Sure. That's fair. Byakuya got like 90% there.
Yeah.
Just like drew the arrow the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I won't be too hard on him, but the fact that he's like talking down at us like, gee, you're a fucking idiot, isn't it so obvious? It's like, get your arrow pointed the right way, then you can break Makoto. In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began. Bullshit. Fizzle?
Oh god. I started laughing while drinking smoothie. I need a
Okay.
second.
Okay. You just like suddenly went quiet and I was like, Oh man.
Oh god, don't breathe smoothie. Okay. I think I'm good.
Oh
What?
shit. But, based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Makuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit.
Bruh, what makes it?
that.
We thought Makuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us?
That's a good point.
So, in other words,
Makuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense to assume that Makuro isn't the culprit.
So that's the trap. They want us to suspect maybe there has come to the wrong conclusion.
That's what makes sense to me.
The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible. But if that's really true, if Mimi Murmur isn't the killer, then who is?
Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation.
I should find out what that key in the dojo really connected.
Let's go.
Well, are you coming? Breathe, Fizzle. Breathe.
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm not dead, you're dead.
Hurry up and check the locker. That's what we're here for, after all. It was on the far right.
Okay, there we go.
There are wooden lockers here. They use woodblock keys, just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Kodo, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right?
Duh.
I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it.
Oh, okay. I took out the woodblock key and
Clearly,
inserted
Kodo, he's just too stupid to realize it. Yeah, fair.
it into the locker's metal lock, and the locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. The fuck? There are
Okay.
arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite
Who's
strong,
Byakuya?
despite how thin they are. Oh,
I thought we got smart for a second there. Fuck.
No. You're giving Makoto too much credit.
I am. I'm sorry.
Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks.
strong sticks. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain?
I see.
If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case.
The duct tape is related to the case somehow? Well, how could it possibly be involved? I think that's all this locker has to offer for now.
What?
Is something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? Yes, I agree. The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps...
Rakia?
Forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location.
Huh? Why next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir.
Okay, but why?
Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Mimi was a part of? Well, how are we supposed to find out about that?
Isn't it obvious? Where in this school would you go to do research on something?
The locker room. Research. Are you talking
library?
about the archive? That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here.
Rakia seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back.
Ah, here we go.
He quickly returned with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this.
A I have no idea what it says.
Ding, ding, ding.
What language is this?
Doesn't fucking matter. Look at the fucking symbol.
Yeah.
How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French?
I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French.
Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over.
Sure, I'll read books to you. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme?
Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. And they claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into an enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. It's got a big giant wolf head, so it must be about Fenrir. Yeah, exactly. Also, the fact that like the symbol was the same as the tattoo, which is like, gee, maybe that means that the corpse was a member of Fenrir. Gee, maybe that means that the corpse wasn't Kyoko, and instead was the 16th student.
Oh my
No.
god!
However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate that they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired.
No, Kyoko killed all of them.
Maybe, but like,
Because
kind of irrelevant?
they I'm okay, sure. I'm irrelevant to this, but like they abducted Kyoko, they turned her into the ultimate. No, wait. I got my plot lines mixed up. Don't mind me.
Some, however, believe that there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
No, wait, hang on. What if Kyoko is the ultimate soldier? She's just been going under an alias. Because she didn't want to be identified should this shit come to light.
I mean, tenuous at best.
Alright.
So the problem I have with that theory, because I entertained the idea as well briefly, the problem I have with the theory is that, like, okay, sure, Kyoko is some kind of ultimate soldier as well. We originally thought maybe ultimate assassin, ultimate soldier, whatever. Sure, fine. It also explains why she's, like, knows a lot about dead bodies and, like, has no, like, remorse or fear or anything about, like, touching dead people and stuff like that. Sure, I can buy all of that. The problem is, like, if Kyoko is actually under an alias, like, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean anything.
No,
'Cause, like,
but
if Kyoko was actually Makura or whatever,
yeah,
then like, why has Monokuma been referring to her as Kyoko this whole time and not like correcting that? Like, Monokuma wouldn't give a shit about what kind of alias she's trying to go by, right?
Hold up. Am I on drugs, or did we not have a similar case with Celeste? Yeah, no, with Celeste. Celeste was an alias. Monokuma was referring to her as Celeste the whole time, right?
Sure. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but let's entertain this theory then, right?
Yeah.
So if Kyoko is actually Makura,
Right.
and is this ultimate soldier, then like either that means that Kyoko is the victim and is dead,
No.
which I don't buy it, or like Kyoko killed some 16th student and that 16th student is not Makura, and we have no idea who the fuck that 16th student is. So like, how can we actually properly have an investigation because we don't even know who we're investigating?
Easy. We don't give a shit about who the victim is. The only part that really, like, we don't have to match killer to victim. We just have to identify killer. The identity of the victim doesn't matter. It could be fucking Mickey Mouse for all we care. Like, The only important
Okay,
part is
sure.
that it was a student.
But even so, why give us this whole runaround about Makura then? Like, what do we actually care? Like, we know that the killer is Kyoko.
Right.
Why do we care whether or not her real name is Makura Ikusaba or whatever? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Why give us this whole runaround?
Monokuma's doing it just to be an asshole, right?
Is he?
Probably.
Because I totally believe that Kyoko is giving us the runaround. But if Monokuma is actually upset and angry at Kyoko, why would he give us the runaround? Why does he care? And if his legitimate motivation is to, like, be fair about the class trial, that's extra reason for him not to give us a runaround.
Oh, I think there's a difference between being fair and, like, handing it to us. Because, like, if he had told us that Kyoko is actually Mukuro, then that would have just handed the whole fucking thing to us.
Sure.
Because up until this point, the Dum Dum Squad has all been convinced that the victim has been Kyoko because there can't possibly have been another victim. So Monokuma saying, "Hey idiots, there was actually a 16 student at some point, LOL bye." Like, all that does is tell us that the victim is not Kyoko. Because the victim isn't Kyoko, because Kyoko done murdered somebody. Because up until this point, all the idiots had been saying that, oh, there's only 15 students. The only mention of a 16 student has happened essentially off camera, where no one has seen it. So, because a thing is now involving the 16 student, Monokuma has to come clean.
Okay, so maybe I'm not explaining my whole thought process well.
Okay.
But, like, I feel like if Kyoko is actually this mercenary from this soldier group, the game is doing an awful lot of running us around for no reason. Like, if Kyoko is in fact this ultimate soldier person that we're now learning about, why is the game doing such like heavy-handed job of giving us this runaround with Kyoko telling us that the 16th student is the ultimate despair? Why is the game giving us this runaround with, like, going through the archive and all these files, like, oh, there's actually this other group and blah blah blah, and they're like soldier, and, like, if Kyoko is this person, it seems like the game is doing a heavy-handed job of giving us a runaround for not a lot of really good reason.
So, let me see if I can kind of diagnose this one by one. Why is Kyoko giving us the runaround? Because Kyoko has identified us as the biggest threat.
Know why. We know and agree on why Kyoko's giving us the runaround.
Yeah.
I mean, as a game, like, break the fourth wall for a second.
Yeah.
Why is the game doing such a, like, huge, heavy-handed job of giving us the runaround if Kyoko is this soldier?
I don't know that it's that heavy-handed.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't fully buy that Kyoko is this Makuro person.
Sure.
Like, I don't buy it.
All right.
Like, I just don't.
But
for whatever reason.
Sure,
I
but
feel like.
What's the alternative theory?
I mean, the alternative theory is that either Kyoko is actually the ultimate despair, or, like, we have been in agreement this entire time that Kyoko is the final boss.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. It feels so weird for it to be like, oh yeah, Kyoko is actually this other person this whole time.
Sure.
And, like, it feels pointless. It feels really dumb, in my opinion.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
I mean, we've been saying since day one that she's some kind of, like, ultimate assassin, ultimate soldier is close enough that, like, sure, I can buy it, but, like, it feels dumb and weird.
Sure. I mean, maybe we just haven't drank the Kool-Aid enough on anime logic for this game, but, like, I don't know. I'm feeling the anime logic at work here.
I mean, it's definitely going to be some kind of anime logic.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
what is it?
This all just sounds like some kind of alternative reality.
Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here, an unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting.
Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use.
So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir.
Now that you mention it, the report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right?
That's right. It said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Eh? They got a tattoo of Fenrir. Could that mean...
Oh, thank God.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it
And that's not Middle
constantly
East unless
assaults
you've
us
seen 13th Warrior.
organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial.
That was a weird announcement from Monokuma.
It sure was.
So,
It sure feels like
meet
this is going
up
to be
in
the last
usual
trial.
spot.
Yeah.
See you later.
Makoto's head is soft enough already, no more beating him over the head with clues. Fair enough. And the time has come.
All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go.
Don't remember having a death announcement. That was last session.
Yep.
Whoa, Pyakia and Makoto showed up together.
Ah,
Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point?
Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you?
What, are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second.
Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But... we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And in 5 minutes it became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again?
What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... Or what?
Jesus!
Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait.
Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we?
What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you.
Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now.
it's me you're waiting for. I'm here.
When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey,
I'm here, and no rule's been broken.
Kyoko.
Kyoko, you're still alive?
No, that's Ghost. Scoob. Stopped it talking.
If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong?
You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you.
When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko.
So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die.
Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us.
Bruh.
He's right. Now we've got to deal with a ghost, Scoob. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial.
Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Yakuya stepped into the elevator.
Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But...
One second. I'll be happy when this trial's all over.
One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms.
the second floor.
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered.
Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now, I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I?
So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting.
But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, that's what the key you found goes to.
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school.
Huh?
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation,
It would seem...
because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me.
For her? That's a strange way to put it. Last trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all,
Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right?
so Kyoko's taunting us.
Is it too obvious that it's Kyoko?
I mean, maybe, but like... Okay, so alright. I'll follow you down this trail really quick, but let's talk...
I mean, it's like 99% Kyoko, but like, what the hell?
Let's talk Aoi real quick. Aoi is not smart enough to plant fake blood.
No, the only other person this could be is Byakuya.
Right.
And it's like not 100% out of the question, right?
So here's the thing. The trail of evidence so far, Byakuya has had access to Kyoko's room. Byakuya could have planted the thing under the sheets to make us think that it's Kyoko because Fenrir, because whatever, because he's a conspiracy nut job. Sure. Why did Kyoko point us in that direction? I cannot resolve that.
I don't know. But like, everything in me screams that yes, this is Kyoko, like 1,000,000,000%. But there's this small part of me that's like, but isn't it painfully too obvious? Isn't it gonna be like way too obvious once we start doing the trial that like, no, literally the only person that could have done this is Kyoko. Like, unless the game is going to literally like hard push all of the other characters to be like, no, this was Mikoto.
Right.
But like, even then...
Well, hang on, because I think the game is going to hard push that it's Makoto.
Sure.
Because that's what Kyoko is going to do.
But even if it does, like, that's gonna fall apart. Like...
It looks
I
real
know
not
that we
good
don't
for
have
us.
a great ally.
Yeah.
But like...
And
I don't
Kyoko's the only intelligent one here.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we're gonna get fucking railroaded into false blame town. And that's what
Yeah,
the difficulty
I
of the
mean,
trial is
that's-
going to be.
Sure.
And Makoto's gonna be like, but it couldn't be Kyoko because my boner. So like, it's gonna take us forever to get there.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. The fact that we're Makoto is gonna be what makes this hard.
Yep. We have to overcome our own stupidity. Let's go.
They haven't had to participate in the trial. It's funny that we haven't had to wait for the 16th student all this time, and that they hadn't had to participate in the trials, because that's the most important. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's been the other thing on my mind, is like, gee, why do we have to wait for everyone this time when, like, we surely
Because-
haven't had to wait for the 16th student the other times? I mean, we had to wait for Kyoko
Because
she did it,
because the 16th student has been dead from day one.
but, you know? That would be a reason.
Yeah. Kyoko didn't wait for the fucking meet and greet. She just grabbed one of them, clobbered them over the head, dragged back to her room, stabbed, has had untold number of weeks to fucking make her room spotless, hid the shit in the bathroom because, yeah, it is a girl's bathroom. You could not breathe goodies or whatever.
So the only issue I have with that idea is, like, a decomposing corpse would have had, like, one hell of a smell. Like,
Unless,
Byakuya and Makoto would have noticed when they went into the room, even if it was hidden in the bathroom.
unless she had some method of preservation. Some, I don't know, super soldier, I don't know, anime logic.
Maybe. But even then, something like that probably would have had a distinct smell to it. Like, I find it hard to believe the game is going to be just like, yeah, she just had like a perfect mechanism to preserve the corpse and like no way to actually...
Remember that time we handed her, like, male cologne and she was just like, oh, fuck yeah! And we were just like, wait, we're confused about why you like that.
The blueberry perfume?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, actually, yeah.
No, student's been dead since day one. Kyoko found a way to preserve. Kyoko has now finally deployed the body as her master strike.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's ride the elevator down to the deadly.
Oh wow, they didn't do it
There
this
was an
time.
illuminating light of hope.
It was the blinding light of despair.
Oh. Oh, I see.
What the fuck?
Wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs is past.
Thrills! Chills!
Let's get on with the show.
And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. The deadly oh, we got here. It's the deadly do-right. Okay, so
Alright, set skills. We got some new skills that we need to figure out.
alright, we got cool and composed. Steadies your aim a little, effective during the non-stop debate and the hangman's gambit. I've not had a
That seems
problem with that.
unimportant.
Increases the time limit for each phase. For the class trial. We might need room for that.
We haven't had an issue with time limits so far.
No, but we might for this one.
Sure.
Completely steadies your
Oh.
aim.
Right, because we've had tranquility this whole time, so of course
Oh.
we don't care about cool and compose because we just had the Uber version apparently.
First, the prediction decreases an argument to 3 statements or less.
Ooh.
Oh.
Effective during the non-stop debate and the bullet time battle final strike. That's a lot of points, but
That seems kind of strong.
could be pretty good, yeah.
Focus rage decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. Non-stop debate, hangman's gambit, bullet time battle. I kind of need help with the bullet time battle.
Yeah.
But then again, do I use? No, yeah, we need that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Focus gauge recovers more quickly.
I think that's also really good.
Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed during bullet time. Yeah, I need that. Increases bullet capacity during bullet time battle. I'm kind of shitty about reloading. And I need to get rid
Right.
of something else because the thing we want is 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we maintain.
That's the only one I'm looking at. But no.
Yeah, I think we're good enough at figuring out which arguments to use that
Yeah.
like there have been a few times where it's tripped us up, but I think in general like
Mhm.
we don't need that.
Sure. Alright, and what do we got for our truth bullets? We got the Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were dead before the blast, had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Hey, Wappy, this is about to be detective time. So we got
Yeah.
we got the exploded body analysis, which upper half was on fire, bottom half was dry. That's because of the tarp. Fake nails? I don't know what the fuck the fake nails was about. That's weird. And the tattoo, and then the fragments of the bomb. Sprinklers could not be changed because it was code locked. 7 a.m. Okay, timeline. 7 a.m. Makoto wakes up. 7:30, Makoto and Aoi arrive in the dining hall. 7:30 to 9, we're in the gym. 7:30 to 9, we're in the gym, and then we head to the headmaster's room, 4th floor. 9 a.m., Toko is sent to garden, 5th floor, where she discovers the body. Body was not wet, so it was placed there sometime after 7:30 and before 9, or uncovered by the tarp.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. Knife at crime scene was our knife. Tarp is the tarp. Chicken coop, that's where the fake blood came from. Well, it was real blood, it was just planted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Byakuya stated that there was no corpse in the garden just after nighttime, and that they were in the gym the whole night. Sure. Body before explosion. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet.
Right. Mercury Yusaba's profile, Ultimate Soldier, sure. On Akuma's account, there were 16 students. The reason Kyoko wears gloves is to hide something she doesn't want anyone to see, the tattoo. Woodblock key. I'm stuck on the titanium arrows. I don't know what the fuck goes on here.
Yeah, what the hell is this relevant to anything?
The duct tape was for the tarp.
Sure, I can buy that.
Yeah.
But why... Okay. Why would Kyoko, like, give us the key to find the wadded up duct tape? And the arrows? Like, what the actual fuck is that all about? Don't know if you're gonna stay for a while or not. Thought I'd say hi. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
So, this, I think, is the first evidence. No, because that doesn't explain the rest of it. I was going to say this might be the first evidence of a Byakuya power play, because Byakuya planted the key. And played dumb about the whole, I don't know what a bathhouse key is.
I could buy that.
But, what the fuck has Kyoko been doing all this time? And when did Byakuya murder? And how did Byakuya and all that shit? Like...
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Alright, let's dive in.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Thank you, hero.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because
This is where we're starting, isn't it?
she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
She's standing right fucking there.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Are you...
Cool.
for real?
We're
Her
Yep.
traits?
we're doing this.
We're doing this?
I guess.
Are we really going with Kyoko clone theory? What the fuck? That proves that the body doesn't belong to her is the gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
Also the fact that she's standing right the fuck there.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Oh my god.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
Oh my god.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Hero, could you...
Why? Oh my god. There's no way that the corpse was Kyoko because she's standing literally right the fuck there.
Oh, for fuck's sake, why are these people so fucking dumb?
Who the fuck knows?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No,
'Cause that
fake
corpse
nails.
is absolutely Kyoko.
Fake nails for that last
This
one.
entire
Yeah.
discussion is idiotic.
Yeah,
There's no, yep. There's no way that she could have like
yeah,
with those fake gloves. There's no way she was wearing gloves
yeah.
or fake nails.
Fake nails. Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah. She
Here.
must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong.
Okay. One down.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't
Can
know
we just
women,
kill
it's
Hero?
you.
If we all kill him, does it like not count? If like we all hold the knife and just like press it into him, does it not count?
Right?
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Also, she's literally
It should
right
have
the
been
fuck there.
obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Gotta identify the victim.
Alright, what do we got this time? Tattoo on the right hand. Unless we need to copy something.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
True.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
There.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was
It's
one
a
clue
pain
left
that I
behind
don't
that we
have-
can use to
I
identify
have
the
students
body.
who regularly wear lab gloves over fake nails. Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being
What?
stupid. Ignore them,
They're
Makoto.
Christ.
Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
It's a wolf. It's very clearly a wolf. Jesus.
You're like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
Kyoko's ultimate strategy was to make sure that Hiro, Aoi, and Toko were alive at the end, to make sure no one could solve anything.
You know, I can get behind that.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Compare the tattoo to other information, the victim's identity.
Okay, like the Fenrir file.
This one, right?
Fenrir file, I think. Wasn't there one that we got that was specifically about Fenrir? No. Okay. Then yeah, the Mukuba's profile. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I just double checked.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Wolf.
Fucking.
Now I understand.
I like how he says, now I understand, when, like, I literally said the answer before the fucking minigame began. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, Makoto.
Yeah.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man.
Okay, we don't need all that.
I mean, okay, but like no one gives a shit.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Objection.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Oh, okay. That means.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Jesus.
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've
So
already narrowed
dense.
down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Makoto and Kyoko.
Uh-huh.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
He did say he found Hiro in the garden, right?
He did.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
I gotta clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
False.
Then I
No.
guess we can say the time frame for the murder
False.
was between then and when we found the
No.
No.
body. Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
Discovered at 9.
I got it!
Fuck.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it?
Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock. So it's probably 9 on the dot now.
Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
No.
No.
You can be sure that the body
I
ended
was
up there
already asleep
between those
before
times.
nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi.
Okay.
This is wrong, but sure.
Do...
Sprinklers.
It might be... Oh, yeah.
Established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Oh, damn it.
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Right?
Sprinklers there.
More than enough time
Sprinklers
to commit
there?
murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections,
Yep.
now would be the time.
Yep, alright. I agree.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
No, Sprinklers
No.
at the 10 a.m. Or 10 p.m.
Shoot!
You think so?
We've established a time frame for the murder.
It might be exploded body analysis at 7:30.
No,
Oh.
because the sprinkler... Because if it was before 10, the sprinklers would have done
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha, I gotcha.
Actually,
Yeah.
the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
Or way earlier.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Thank you, Taco.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Oh, shit.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
Exploded body analysis.
Oh. Shit. I panicked.
No, no,
Yeah,
no!
I think it's exploded body
Don't know
analysis.
anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? How can you say it
Exploded
wasn't
body
the
analysis?
sprinkler?
Yeah.
This should prove it.
Alright.
Just remember what the body was like.
Yeah,
after the
weirdo
explosion.
mouth down
And
south.
you'll
That
see
was
Yeah.
it
certainly a
wasn't the
phrase.
sprinkler.
Yeah.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
No.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Girls killers. No, we can't believe it. The power of boners compels us.
Oh
I'd just like to
no.
say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
And if we vote for someone else, then we just die.
Uh-huh.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
We're gonna learn at the end of all this that Hero is somehow the mastermind.
No.
Because, like,
No.
nobody's actually capable of being that fucking dumb.
No. No. No.
I sure hope not as well, but
No.
just like,
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation
Here we
is still
go.
insufficient.
Mm-hmm.
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
We're up against someone that knows everything that we do. Fuck. Fuck.
What are you?
If only we could have seen this twist coming!
Yeah.
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take was covering the body with a certain something
It's
to
a
keep it
tarp.
from getting wet.
Oh, jeez. There's no possible way that Kyoko would not know about that.
Okay, so that's why Kyoko left the tarp, to help frame us.
Uh-huh.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
That's not how water works?
It depends on what the tarp is made out of. If it's like a waterproof kind of material, then the water would slide off it, so it would be like wet, but not like it wouldn't soak through.
Sure, but like if the explanation is water covered one side of the tarp and that's how it got dirty, like
just go with it for now. It's
The
anime
side
logic.
that faced down
All right.
over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could,
So they could
cloud
frame
the issue
someone.
of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Yep.
Anime physics, yeah.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? It can't possibly be because she's the killer. No, let's not think about that. The boner is too strong, so let's go back to this fucking circus.
Uh-huh.
Buddy,
Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. Are you sure, dude? Because it's literally you and her that don't have the alibis.
Uh-huh. Although to be fair, if it really is like was killed as long ago as we think it was, then nobody has an alibi. But
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well, sure, but like one problem at a time.
Knife at the crime scene?
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
Right?
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Okay, so this is like exploded body analysis, or no, not exploded body analysis.
No.
What are our bullets again?
By covering the body with the tarp,
Body
the
before
killer
explosion.
prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side
And it goes on the last
is
thing.
the sprinkler
Alright.
got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Fuck. She's using her own bullshit before we can use it because we're stupid.
Oh no.
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood?
You
Where
bitch.
did they get something like that?
That was supposed to be our point.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
A chicken count.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
And they all stood in the same place to memorialize their fallen brother.
Uh-huh.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken
Oh, I
went missing,
wonder.
which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it.
Because it was a fucking chicken. How much blood do you think there was?
The ground was completely clean.
Also, everything soaked into the cloth thing, the coat.
Yeah.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No, it was on
No,
backwards.
yeah.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
And also, it was fucking backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a
That-
tough time thinking.
That settles it?
What settles what?
I'm so glad that suddenly now you don't have to have thorough logic, Kyoko.
Yeah, she doesn't have to because nobody fucking else does.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
That's only because we didn't get teleported.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't
To
bother
go all the
saying
way
it's
up to
not
the 5th
possible.
floor, take care of that, and then go all the way back to the 1st floor?
I mean-
Kyoko.
I mean, sure, that's unreasonable, but fucking... We're being thrown under the bus.
Sure. But it would have taken a lot longer than the time that it took us to go from the dining hall to the gym.
Sure, but she's making a picture book for Muppets. Like, I don't think
100% accuracy
I
is your
know
problem.
that. I know that. Doesn't mean I'm not right.
Yeah.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I fucking
Cause she
wonder.
fucking did it.
Cause she fucking did it. Nice.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
At this point, I trust the coin more than you.
Oh,
Yep.
See? Pretty good idea, right?
no, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Fuck.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According
Fuck.
to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Fuck.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Everyone's just like, oh, let's hand it. Oh shit, Kyoko suggested it.
Uh-huh. Of course she did. That was her plan all along.
99.9% Kyoko.
I think there need to be a few more nines there, but yeah.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier. Yeah. Then why did you hide that fact?
'Cause we're dumb?
We
It's
haven't
not that I
hidden that
hid it.
fact.
It's just...
I didn't spell it out for you, Muppets. Something last night. I thought maybe oh my god.
Suspicious! Very suspicious.
Yeah, in your fever dream state, you accidentally killed
Jesus
someone.
Christ, Makoto.
And then accidentally dragged them to the 5th floor, accidentally
Oh
covered them with
God.
a tarp, accidentally set a motion sensing bomb. You know, like you do.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm
No,
totally
it came from
convinced
my
he did it.
room.
12,000% convinced.
Okay, you stole that gimmick from me, and I'm filing a copyright suit.
Uh-huh.
I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. How are we gonna fucking pull that off?
Alright, what are our fucking bullets? Disguised dead body, body before explosion, exploded body announced, fragments near the dead body. Fragments near the dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
Yep.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, and that seals it. Makoto did it.
Please no.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
Oh.
No. Well,
Okay.
That knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
no, hang on.
Alright, what are our other truth bullets?
Do we have the Monokuma file?
Game plays. Game plays.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's
the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
Exploded body
Did
analysis?
have that knife before.
Question
and
mark?
That seals
We'll
it.
try it.
Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Alright. There wasn't that.
Shoot!
So, hang on.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
That's
I
true.
wonder if it's disguised dead body, actually.
If he did have that knife before, and that seals it. Makoto did it!
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No.
Okay.
wrong.
Okay. Like, I know what it's trying to say, it's just... I would have put
Wait,
that
Yeah.
under the Monokuma file, not
The
that.
stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Okay, Monokuma file here.
Um...
Because it was the bludgeon to the head.
Been stabbed a single time with a knife.
Yes.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
And the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
Who could that have been?
They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
The person trying to throw blame or the person trying to logic through the murder. Yeah, right?
Oh, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered
Oh, I'm
to put
so
that
glad
lump
you
of
asked.
gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
It was a fucking bomb, you idiot.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
Could you
I might
please
be
just
dumb,
stop?
But even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Okay.
After the
Yeah.
explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through.
My god.
We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
It was the blunt force. It was any number of fucking things from like any number of fucking time ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Sure won't.
I need to concentrate. Monokuma File 5.
Yeah.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Right?
Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right?
Right.
And then there's
Correct.
only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
Right.
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Right.
But there's not a contradiction here.
There's not a contradiction in there.
Shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And
I
it
mean,
wasn't
I
me
guess,
because of the knife,
I guess
right?
the last thing.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Oh.
No, there's one more after that one.
Oh, yeah.
The countless wounds on Byakuya's statement.
Shall we continue
Yeah.
the debate?
Oh, yeah, because those were at least several
The
days old.
victim's fatal injury
Right.
has yet
Yeah.
to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Unless it's grab fatal injury and then
Well, yeah.
He's on,
She was already totally dead
wounds
when
several
that
days
happened.
old.
And it wasn't me
That
because
could
of
be.
the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire
Okay, so it's
body.
grab, fatal injury, and then countless wounds.
Yeah, well, no, it's grab fatal injury and either countless wounds or
The victim's
Hero's
fatal injury
blow to the back of
has yet
head.
to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Oops. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I guess try it on Hero's statement.
Yeah.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
This one's really annoying because there's just
There's no
like a million
contradiction.
different things, and like none of them seem to be contradictory.
Yeah.
Is this real? I refuse to give up yet.
Alright, so Alright, let me look at these bullets again real quick. The Monokuma, it's not the Monokuma file because everything we're getting is from that. Body before explosion.
I mean,
Then shall we continue the debate?
it's either
The victim's
we haven't tried
fatal
Monokuma
injury
file
has
on this
yet
one
to be
here, the
determined,
fatal
correct?
injury.
The explosion
Oh,
didn't kill her
alright.
for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me
No,
because
don't
of the
find the
knife,
correct
right?
answer.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file,
I mean, do we try the blow to the back of the head on the fatal injury line?
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I want to think of one thing that could have killed her.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Okay, so then yeah.
Didn't kill her for sure.
Blow to the back of the head on victim's fatal injury.
Well,
That's what I'm
she was
thinking.
already
Yeah.
totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Alright.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
Sure. That, okay, but...
See, I feel like with that, it should have let us do either
Because the
order.
blow to
Yeah.
the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
No, because that's not blunt.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The
What?
balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw
What?
it on the ground and spit on it.
Toko, go sit in the
Toko?
corner.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Hero, you also go sit in the other corner.
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
No.
No.
The titanium arrows?
But that's not a metal pipe.
They were duct taped together? And, like, she whacked her with them? I don't know. Fucking, like...
I got it!
No?
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's
Titanium arrows duct taped together? What the fuck?
Look, man, it's the only thing that fucking made any sense based on the fact that we found them in the locker. I don't know. It sounded really dumb, but also I couldn't think of any other reason that the titanium arrows would ever matter.
This has got to lead nowhere, right?
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
No, a bundle of them.
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Bloody duct tape, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
No.
You sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe. right? It seems like an arrow would just be
Here.
too thin.
Yep.
No, it's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Okay, but they're still arrows, though. Like, it doesn't suddenly make them solid.
And that's exactly what the
I
killer
mean,
did.
they're titanium. That's what makes them solid.
I guess.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
But it doesn't prove that she went to the dojo because you had her room key, you dumbass.
Yeah.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi.
But it's
your
not
clear
though.
motive, your attempts
And now
to
you're the
frame
fucking
Makoto
murderer,
for
you
the
dumbass. Game Y.
proves
Game
that
Y.
You are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She knew I was being attacked. And she came to my rescue.
That's
Oh,
enough.
Makoto, you're
The
fucking
time for
dumb.
idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait,
No,
No.
wrong.
Fucking...
I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What does that mean?
Is this the BT kill combo? Byaki attack on? No, this is just Byaki on its own.
Yeah.
What did Byaki
Whose
say in
words
his
you just
account?
spoke? What do you mean?
That
That's
he
gonna be
went
the
and found
bullet.
everyone.
What I said. I'm
Oh,
not
right,
the
right.
killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room. correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
It's either Byakuya's account or Wood Block Killer on the last
more than anyone here.
thing. The last thing that Kyoko says.
What are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room.
Right here, right here.
Here?
Yeah, it's
No.
either Byakuya's account or the woodblock key there, I think.
Shoot!
I'm not convinced, but I'll go with you because I don't have any better ideas.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said.
What were the exact words
I'm
that she
not
said?
the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
That Byakuya should know better than anyone
Something from me.
that she's not the killer.
There's proof.
No,
that you
I'm
aren't
trying to
the
look for
culprit.
exactly the phrase. Like the yellow phrase. Because, like, there's a possibility that we need
You
to copy
stated a
that.
theory earlier. You said
No,
hid the
I
evidence
know
of
what
my
it
crime
is,
in the
weirdo,
dojo
that
locker,
Byakuya had the key,
and
but
then
like...
left the locker key in my own room. Correct? Shoot!
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Oh, I bet we have to copy Byakuya's There's Proof on Kyoko's
Proof
I'm Not the
that
Killer.
You aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But
Oh, oops.
could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
Oh, fucking. No?
No,
Oh,
it
because I.
went away when you used the bullets.
Shit. Alright.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand that.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Is that what you're...
You said I hid and then left the but could I really have done that?
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree that the
Yep.
purple words going right over the yellow text is dumb.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
Alright, remember you gotta get rid of the thing first. There you go.
Nope.
What the fuck?
Shoot!
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya,
When the body
what are
was
you
found.
hiding?
Master
When the body was found has nothing to do with it. That's
Yeah.
not gonna be useful.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
What have we tried Byakuya's account on?
We tried Byakuya's account on left the key in her own room. I feel like when the body was found is a contradiction to when. Because, like. Oh! Because if the murder happened today, then she wouldn't have been able to put the body, or to put the key in her room.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we can use the one whose body was found for that then.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
Oh.
Shoot!
Yeah, I don't get this one.
Some of these are really just dumb because, like, they're not actually contradictions.
Yeah. Or like they're
missing the context that
yeah,
makes
they're missing
them...
the context that makes them a contradiction.
Mm-hmm.
Is this I refuse to give up yet.
All right, hang on. Let's.
Have we tried copying Kyoko's I hid it in my own room
What do you mean?
and using it against
Exactly
Byakuya's
what
there's
I said.
proof?
I'm not the killer.
I don't think we have.
You
I think we should try that
understand more
next.
than
Okay.
anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong.
The
Jesus
ordering
Christ.
on these is fucking weird.
Yeah. I really hate that when you have to copy one phrase and use it against another, the order matters.
Yeah.
If there are two contradictory phrases, it shouldn't matter which order you use them in.
Yeah.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
Except she had a master key. Fucking dum-dum.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
Except that you told us about Monokuma's special tools, so you could have...
This is still Kyoko, right?
%98%. It's now like 2% Byakuya.
Alright.
I hate it. I hate it.
I hate it. But yeah.
Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Oh, it's not actually true. There is clear contradiction. An obvious lie.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mikoto, shut up with your power boners.
Yeah. Or is there some other reason she's trying not to die? Fucking Jesus. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school
You
will
just
stay
power
hidden forever.
boners. Yeah, Makoto is being driven by the power of boners this whole fucking game.
Yeah.
He's been strung along by the nose this
Yeah.
whole time.
And our final boss is overcoming our boner for this girl. Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko. But what if that's not true? What can I do? What? Blah, blah, blah. Mastermind's trap. Victim was Makuro, and Kyoko killed her. Was Kyoko?
We've all been there. I mean, you're not wrong, Wappy.
I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? Well, my man drop. Spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. Oh god. Okay, hang on. No, hang on. Oh, it's not letting me safety save.
But we have to pursue the lie, right?
We have to pursue the lie, right?
We have to.
We have
to. Even if she isn't the culprit, we should pursue the lie because we should get all the details of the case.
Yeah. Right?
Like, either way, whether Kyoko did kill or did not kill, we should absolutely pursue the lie.
Yeah.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's account?
I think so.
I didn't have the key to my room. Because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Right?
True.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You are
Not arguing that point.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Right there.
No, that's wrong. No. Kyoko could have gotten into a room. You said so yourself. Didn't you, Kyoko?
Use Monakuma's secret tool.
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
The fuck are you talking about? Just fucking talk in plain English.
Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really
No, she's double bluffing you. Jesus Christ.
aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished! The class trial is all
He's never
over.
done that before.
But that's
sure hasn't.
ridiculous. Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out! So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you! But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
God fucking damn it, I hate this. Oh, I couldn't help to notice that right below fucking Kyoko was Byakuya. Ooh, good job. You got it right. Brilliantly right.
We got it. Right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
Is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Yeah, weirdo, I totally agree that there's something weird going on here.
There's something fucky going on.
So, let's consider.
You remember that time when I said it's like too obvious that it's Kyoko?
Yeah.
Yeah, like everything about this is just totally fucky.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, spawners can be frustrating.
So here's the thing. Like, based on how Monokuma's acting, that means it's also not Byakuya, which means Monokuma is doing shit. Or Headmaster or whoever, whatever. Right?
Probably.
That's my guess. That's a class trial. What I'm doing that. Whenever the character is actually innocent, truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once the case was over, there was never a single murder ever again. The fuck?
That's super awkward.
No! This isn't right!
Oh, cool. Narrative time warp.
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Oh, cool. I love it when games give you a choice that's not actually a choice.
Okay, now...
But at least it, like, showed what would have happened in that timeline, I guess.
We totally got the bad end, right? And the game is just like, we acknowledge that you just saw the bad end. And that you need to go back and unfuck it, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate the cutting out of all the middlemen in between, alright? Because I did try to safety save, and it didn't let me.
Yeah. This game has totally not given us a non-choice before.
That's true.
Oh
yeah, just because I had to know, I actually Googled that other non-choice that we had. It was it was totally a non-choice. There's no way to yeah.
I don't remember what that one was about, but I remember it
Mm-hmm.
vaguely.
I'm gonna believe in Kyoko. I guess.
Must be some secret here, something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned. Okay.
Does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact?
Yep.
I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
Something about Sakura and talking to her about her working for the mastermind. Oh yeah. That was the other thing is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had the option of telling Kyoko the secret we were keeping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And we wanted to, but then the game was like, no, you don't. And it's,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Oh.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
No, there is another option. It was Monokuma.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
Sure.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Bruh? You think I'm the killer?
Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone.
Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right.
No, that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills,
It's time for your
kills!
heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment.
Wait, why? Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Hang on, I was told that this would be a unique punishment.
Uh-huh.
Alright, let's go. Ultimate lucky student, the thing breaks.
That would be pretty ironic.
I'm starting to think the answer was run away.
Kinda looks like it.
I only type questions.
You sure have only asked questions, it's true.
I'm Ron Burgundy? Ooh. Hi, Alter Ego.
Alright.
Ultimate lucky student. Except when we pancake. But, I mean... Thanks, Alter Ego. You gave us an extra 8 seconds of life.
Uh-huh. Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that?
Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter Ego? Alter Ego? Is that some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit, in a way that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Is he gone?
Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? So what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. A massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hobbs Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. Hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which make Hope's Peak a very fitting name. There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. Standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students is me.
Huh? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Wasn't any classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together. Then, I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. That was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego, save me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do so. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here.
Oh, 1 second. Oh, nope.
That's a rocket, and a tank. Better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here.
Yeah, it'd be a real shame if we thought too much about anything.
Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit?
Oh, wow.
It's very dull.
It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food.
Yeah, thinking too much is clearly Makoto's problem.
There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. Feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, Makoto.
My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my
Why are we
only
not
way to
breaking into the door?
preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. Can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However,
No, Wappy.
what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, a pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Something fell down. Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Giant piece of trash just fall down here? Carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever that was and tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude.
Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
This place smells awful.
Go.
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a little bit, got some stuff in you. Gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then faced me again.
Hey,
Like your new hat. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished.
Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, making its way towards my stomach. I would poop it later. I really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going.
That's not how digestion works.
So you still haven't given up then?
Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at.
No, Wappy.
No, Wappy.
But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So,
To pay a debt. Or, no. To atone.
Atone.
you...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything.
So you knew that I knew. That you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you.
Don't say that. You didn't abandon me.
No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost.
Why
Yeah,
did
do
you
tell.
have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The
About
reason I
fucking
have to
time.
survive
In other words,
is so that I can do what I came to the school. Is that I can do what I came to the school to do.
Huh?
I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason.
So you have a very important reason that you came to the...
indeed.
That's right. At least I did once.
Once?
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was.
You forgot, but
I had no memory of what my purpose was.
no memory? That's impossible.
Amnesia?
Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
You remember, Makoto? You remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school?
The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
Or what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? Hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient.
Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory.
But why would they do that?
There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans.
So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time.
But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you? We're all smart and capable, and we're not being surveilled at any time.
Why is that?
Uh-huh.
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have known us right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us.
Bruh.
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal out of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, you can't ignore it, right?
A mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. Yeah, worst case.
Go
It
ahead.
only makes sense that she would look into.
So, are we back to Kyoko Mastermind because she gave herself amnesia to put herself in the game?
I don't fucking know, dude. I just don't know anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of spinning my wheels here too.
The worst, Mr. Memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me.
Well, why me?
Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but
Oh, okay. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind. I understand.
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Yeah.
What? What did he say right before that? Did I miss something? I was typing a message.
Yeah, it was, I understand, I should understand
No,
everything.
go back up a little bit more.
There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should understand everything like goal is living. Okay.
They're not gonna try and make us the mastermind, right? Like, we don't have amnesia,
Dude, I don't
right?
fucking know. Like, this... I don't know.
Alright.
Why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay?
Oh, yes, nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced.
Honestly, I was convinced. Think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability.
Mentioned your ability.
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Okay, so...
Didn't I say that, like, the
Yeah.
first time?
The first time we had a class trial and she was the only person there not drooling on herself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
The ultimate detective.
correct.
The reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school.
You had to find someone?
So,
Oh.
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy.
The headmaster. Why did you want to find the headmaster?
Because he's my father.
Bleh. Okay, but bleh.
in other words,
Cool.
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak.
Kyoko's dad. Hope's Peak's headmaster. Then that explains everything. When Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
I'll find a way.
I,
No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster.
no matter what.
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko got mad at that.
I,
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
Oh, that makes sense. Except all of it.
however,
Uh-huh.
But listen, Makoto, I'll make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
What did you see in the headmaster's room?
so,
The room had been ransacked. Shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there.
You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
It was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found.
Well, why there?
because I also found this in the headmaster's room.
This some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. Found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room.
So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors.
So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean.
It's hard to describe. All I can say is,
I...
moments I saw it, I realized. Whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough.
Sounds like it sure is important. And ominous.
However...
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building.
Has to do with Mikazima, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either.
I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Makuro Ikasaba was to get me killed.
Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial.
It was?
The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly.
You mean because of the regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules. With that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it.
The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound to school regulations.
Hey.
One other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Makuro Ikasaba.
What's that?
There was a point where Makuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
I could have been the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Do you mean?
Yes.
During the night.
I can hear them, you know. Footsteps of the god of death.
Huh?
I can hear the god of death as he moves.
Oh, okay.
That ability naturally draws me into cases, just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me.
So all this would mean that whoever killed Mercury is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have any conclusive evidence, but that's what I think.
But that's really bad if it's true. That means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because she couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. He needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction.
So what does it mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
The other ultimate despair.
You know, the thing about being the ultimate at something, there could be any number of you.
Yeah, totally. It totally is sensible that there are multiple ultimate of the same thing. That's not why there isn't a different word for the second of something, like, oh, I don't know, 10 ultimates?
There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
That makes total sense.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
You're talking
That's
about...
What happened a year ago? The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history?
The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Then there.
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, okay, but...
Sure. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that, like, there was gonna be random bullshit here, but, like, also, that sure was some real random bullshit.
Yeah, that kind of just took off into nowhere.
Yeah, like, the fuck is any of this? And, like, I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed because it feels like, you know, we're suddenly gonna random bullshit our way into other stuff, whereas, like, before it was like, yeah, we're gonna, like, use these class trials to figure out more about the mastermind, like, bullshit, and, like, no, we're just gonna, like, cheat death because plot device, and, oh yeah, conveniently I now have my memory back, and, you know, all this bullshit.
Yeah. It's almost like Mukuro was the ultimate soldier and this group is the ultimate despair.
I mean, maybe.
Anything's game at this point. We've broken our own rules, so like...
Wait, Shadow, you expected good plot writing in an anime?
Yes!
Now, listen here. Listen here.
Somnium Files was
Hey.
fucking great.
It really was.
Yeah.
And it is a tragedy that we didn't stream that.
I know.
Because that actually had some pretty good plot writing.
Yeah.
Like, there were definitely points where it was like,
Yeah.
fucking anime.
Yeah.
But, like, also, it had some really good plot points. And,
Yeah.
like, we detectived the shit out of that game. And, like, that had a really satisfying, like,
Yeah.
no, we actually figured shit out along
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just like a random plot twist
Yeah,
that
this
you
is-
could not have possibly
Yeah.
predicted because we need to do something that you weren't able to predict.
And
because
then
reasons.
clowns burst forth from the walls playing salsa music. You didn't see that coming, and it's like,
No, we didn't. Because that... What? No. Why is anything? Why? Alright.
Yeah.
the ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy over 1 year ago. Same people put together the killing game and began broadcasting it. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has been revealed.
What's up?
I do want to bring up that it is getting close to 6 Eastern. And it does feel like we've reached a fairly good stopping point.
Okay.
You
wanna
so
just
like,
stop
I
here?
don't want to get too much farther.
Okay, do you want to just stop here and then we just dive into the rest of the chapter? Because, like, this is going to be a weird chapter. There might be some
it
kind
is.
of trial at the end, but, like, I have a
Right.
feeling we're about to break every rule forever. So like,
Yeah, like things are about to get like extremely fucky.
Sure.
Man, Fizzle, I really wish that we'd streamed our
I know.
Somnium Files playthrough.
I know.
It is so sad that experience,
I know.
that testimony is just lost to time.
No one will ever know when I just randomly drop a quote saying that the Teen Idol is the Killer Foundation is back in business.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Or, but wait, Dementia Grandma.
Now hang on. Here's the thing. Maybe Dementia made her kill, and then she forgot, and that's why she's mad. It was a good idea
so
at the
good.
time.
It was a funny idea. It is amazing how many times that we were right in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And I totally called the like big twist plot thing.
Yeah.
And I was so happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. This was interesting. We're taking a weird turn. I figure next time might be the last time.
Probably, yeah.
There's most two, I would expect.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, thank you all for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye!